Yeah, so like the adult issues that we talk about in the show, definitely one of the biggest things is religion. The character is Jewish while the family is Catholic. Not to say that that's a bad thing, but you know, in the Cuban community, they kind of are very strict about how things have to all stay the same. So they always want you to marry another Cuban and another Cuban who's Catholic, you know, so they want everything to sort of be that way. And I think we're touching on subjects like that have not been touched before and that can be extremely controversial, but they are very authentic and should be talked about because that is happening in families. And I think that our goal is to let the character, especially the grandparents of the family, those are the ones that are the most strict, is to start to loosen them up, to let them know like, hey, this is okay. You know, we can mix and it's okay. You know, nothing's gonna happen to the family dynamic, you know? And although we talked about it as creators, we were concerned because we don't want to offend anybody or sort of like touch on something a little bit too sensitive. But I think it's important to sort of talk about, especially in these times, we need to talk about things and we need to overcome them as a community and let everybody know that it's okay, no one's gonna die, you know? So we definitely talk about that, what it's like to be an adult and be married and move in with your parents and struggle financially and what that looks like. Because it's a very uncomfortable thing to do. And a lot of people have to do it. So I think that maybe if within our characters, if we can showcase that, any other couple that's dealing with it would feel like it's okay and that they'll be fine. They're not gonna stay in their parents' house with the grandparents forever. They will move out. So it's sort of just talking about real life situations that maybe some people don't want to talk about, but we will, and hopefully it would be okay. I just hope people don't get offended. That's like my biggest thing. But I hope that the message is always going to come across positive. That's always the goal. So yeah, definitely the religious thing. You know, anything, you know, growing up, my parents always said, you don't talk about politics or religion. You just don't do that, you know? And so bringing an element like that, I think is very touchy. And even politically too, you know, Cubans are notorious for being Republicans, you know, and sort of like now in this time where everything is a little bit too chaotic in the country, talking about something like that could come across too a little bit wrong. So we have to be super careful of how we execute these topics while still keeping it authentic to what it is. And then hopefully changing that, you know, bringing awareness to changing things and making people sort of change their minds. You know, we're living in different times. I love bringing comedy to it because I feel like sometimes we just have to laugh about it. You know, sometimes things are not looking great and we just gotta laugh at it, you know. There's you know, there's a funny scene within, there's a part where we're doing the family prayer. And the brother, his name is Joelito in the show, he says the prayer. And one of the things that he says in the prayers is, you know, for the Marlins to win because we are not the best team, and that Hillary loses because they're a Republican family. And I was really scared about that because, yeah, it's just touching on something so heavy, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, but it's so authentic to the Cuban culture because I know a lot of these people. So we have to talk about it because that's about, and I think that it's a great segue to sort of start talking about what's going on, current events that we can bring on throughout the series. But I was very scared about that part. I'm like, oh my God, what are they gonna think, you know? Because we're talking about a lot of heavy things.